Hi everyone, my name is Lauren and I'm a market manager at Pacific Coast Farmers Market Association. Today we're here in Newman, California at Hamlow Ranches. They're growing citrus fruits and we're going to get an inside look at how they're planted, grown, and harvested. We're excited to be here and we're even more excited that you can join us. Let's get going. Hamlow Ranches has been growing their business since the 1960s, when Aubrey Hamlow began growing peaches. Since then, his family has expanded the farm to grow a variety of stone fruits, nuts, and the subject of our video, citrus. Today, we are speaking to Fernando Hamlow, who is in charge of orchard management.
I would say I'm like third generation, you could call it that. My grandfather started farming basically when my dad was born, 1961. His name is Aubrey Hamlow, my grandfather, my dad is Carl Hamlow. I think they started with peaches, apricots. Right here, citrus alone is 12 acres, and the whole land is about 300 acres. We believe that because of the taste, it's a little different. Like if you would take let's say a May Snow White Peach, May Snow White Peach from here, May Snow White Peach from Turlock, this one will be sweeter. We think it's maybe because of the virgin soil, because there's never really been nothing out here. And over there in town, you know, you have replants, you have homes next door, you have everything that's already been grown, something been grown there before. And this, it's nothing, just, you know, there was nothing out here before and it was just like, so we call it virgin soil. So we believe that's the reason why the flavor is so unique over here. So it's mainly me and my mom and my dad and, you know, the employees that we still have that help us out. Me and my mom, I told my dad, hey, don't sell the land, you know, because it's worth a lot of money, the land. But I don't know, I just like it out here.
Many farmers stay in agriculture not because of the profits, but because of the allure of a rural lifestyle. For farmers like Fernando Hamlow, growing and producing fruit is a part of who they are.
We had our school, and then summer, you know how summer a lot of people go to camping, a lot of people have time off. For us, it was work. It was a grind, it was eating dirt, he was out there harvesting peaches. It was mainly, we grew up mainly around peaches, canning peaches. You know, it's about a 2-month period where you're really out there, you know, on the bin carrier and the tractor, you're out there with the laborers, a lot of picking. And then peaches have a lot of fuzz. So I remember when I used to sort, so we really didn't have a summer off, it was mainly work. We had to buy our own stuff for when school started. We had our own stuff already. So that's how it was for us. Winter time is mainly citrus, oranges, pomelos, lemons, tangerines, Satsuma tangerines. And then in the summer, of course, we have cherries, peaches, apricots, watermelons, melons, grapes, raw almonds, dried raisins, walnut meats, year round. Usually the nuts and raisins we sell year round.
Wow! Hamlow Ranch grows so many different types of fruit. For them, citrus is a crop that allows them to maintain income during the slower winter months. But that doesn't mean that their citrus is an afterthought. From oranges to lemons to pomelos, Hamlow is able to remain successful by growing specialized citrus varieties that you might not be able to find on other orchards.
We only have Cara Cara and Navel Fukumoto. And of course we have Chandler pomelos, we have Lisbon lemon, and we have 2 varieties of Satsumas. Owari Satsuma, and then the other one is Dushabi.
Citrus was introduced to California in the 1700s by Spanish missionaries. It wasn't until the 1840s that commercial plantings were first grown by William Wolfskill in Southern California. California's Mediterranean climate is great for citrus, and they grow throughout the state with relative ease. The California gold rush was booming, and so is the need for citrus, which is known to fight scurvy. Today, California is the second largest exporter of citrus in the United States, and the state's citrus industry is worth over $1 billion. Now, let's hear a little bit about the history of citrus at Hamlow Ranches and how they selected their specialty orange variety, a Japanese orange called the Navel Fukumoto.
According to what I was told, he went to a farmer's market down there, and he seen these beautiful oranges, and he was appealed by the color. It's like, wow. So he asked for the variety, he asked what kind it was, and I guess he took all that knowledge and he brought it over here. He bought the trees back in the early 90s. And he planted them here, like in 92, I think it was, 91, 92. So that's what appealed him. The color and the taste at that time. So, and you could actually smell it. When you smell it, it smells real good. It smells natural, smells fresh, unique. Yeah, navel Fukumoto.
The citrus family includes oranges, tangerines, limes, lemons, pomelos, and grapefruit, just to name a few. Different types of citrus have different growing seasons. The Fukumoto variety grown at Hamlow typically produces from November through February, while other navel varieties can produce for a few more months. Many types of lemons can produce almost year-round. Most citrus are self-fertile, so they don't need bees or other pollinators in order to produce fruit. Some fruit trees require careful maintenance. Fernando Hamlow, however, has a more simplistic approach with his citrus.
You irrigate it on real hot days. Don't overwater it though, because you could kill the tree. This you don't have to prune very much. You only prune the dry limbs, or like I said, the thorns, so they won't expand all. As you can see, look right behind you. There's thorns right there, growing out. So that could be a pain in the butt when you're picking. Yeah, the citrus thing we don't do very much. Just to water, just to cut the thorns. The only thing is, in the summertime when there's no fruit, we really have to irrigate it, because a tree could die like that and you won't have crop for the farmer's market to keep everybody happy out there. Especially with these navels, with this kind of fruit. During July and September, that's when you really got to be careful on the water. You really have to make sure everything's getting watered, because that heat would just tear it up, tear a tree up, kill it.
Even though you might think of oranges as a winter crop, citrus actually thrives in climates where temperatures range from 70 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It is important that oranges receive sustained heat in the summer months, as this is what gives the fruit its sweet flavor. Citrus is very sensitive to frost, and plants will be damaged when temperatures get into the low 20s. But citrus's need for high temperatures means that they also need plenty of water.
Right now it hasn't rained or nothing, and it's not, so we have to turn on the pump soon because the ground is kind of dry. So we have to water the trees. Usually we rely, this time of year we rely on rain, so we don't have to pump the water out. It's going to cost us money, so we have to do that. Well, actually a lot of farmers that, like, the almond season's over, all that's over, they have to water their trees this time of year, and that's kind of sad because that's more money in their pocket. Usually we will rely on Mother Nature for that this time of year. Usually spring, when the blossoms come in the spring, that's when you start, when it's more drier, that's when you start watering. But right now, with this dry weather, yeah, we have to water.
Did you know citrus are considered evergreens because they keep their leaves year-round?
They hose has got a little hole in each side on the bottom, and then it just drips, and then it just waters the trees. Yeah, that's all mainly. But sometimes with these grasses, all these weeds, it's kind of hard to tell when it's watering or not. So hopefully we'll chop all this off, and then we'll test out. We'll pull the hoses up, and then that way we know when it's watering. We usually tell when it's watering when there's like a big old wet spot. That's how we tell when it's watering the tree. Mainly. Right now you can't really tell, everything's off. Where one connects to the very end and the other one connects to the very end. So usually what we do is we open up the ends on each corner, and as long as there's flow of water coming out of those ends, we'll know there's water in the whole line on each row. So that's how we'll do it. That's the easiest way. So instead of like looking at one at a time or whatever. Now if we open up an end hose and there's no flow of water at the end, then maybe there's a hose cut or there's something going on. That's when we come out here and inspect. That's the easiest way. There's a pest called black scale. It makes the orange like black. This year we didn't get that. There's something about the grass that keeps the new pests from coming. So that's why my dad said, okay, we're not gonna mow this year, because the pests, instead of coming to the tree, they'll mate in the grass. They'll stay in this area. And if you have your orchard clean, nice and clean, the pests would come and they're gonna see a tree. But then because before this was like pretty high. So the pest will made in here, so they wouldn't get distracted too much on the tree.
What Fernando is describing here is called a trap crop. A trap crop is any plant that attracts bugs and pests away from the farmer's main crop so that the pests don't harm the farm's fruits or vegetables. In this case, the tall grasses provide an alternative habitat for black scale so that they don't start to attack the orange trees. The tall, unmowed grass can also provide a safe habitat for natural predators that eat black scale. This goes to show that having a variety of habitats on a farm can produce a positive ecosystem. Sometimes a messy farm is a healthy farm.
That's why my dad told me that my grandfather, that's why in the almond orchards and the peach orchards, every other row he would mow. One, he'd keep it high for the same reason, so he don't have to spend too much money on sprays, because the pests would mate just there instead of getting to your fruit or your tree and you know, killing it. Yeah.
In California, citrus generally takes 6 to 8 months to fully ripen from flower to fruit. Citrus does not ripen once it's picked off the tree, so it's important for farmers like Fernando to wait until the fruit is perfectly ripe before picking. However, this also means that farmers can pick fruit and store it for short periods of time without going bad. As long as the fruit is stored around 45 degrees Fahrenheit and kept at high humidity, it will retain its freshness. Fukumoto oranges are relatively small, so harvesting their oranges is a fairly low-tech process.
We usually have 1 or 2 pickers to pick for the entire week. Citrus is not as crazy as peaches, nectarines, apricots, that kind of stuff. Well, their trees are pretty small, so a lot of it's pretty low. Bring a vehicle down here. We'll use that if it gets real muddy, because you can't bring the vehicle. You can't bring your truck out here to pick. They'll park on the side, and they'll use the mules. And they'll just pick them in crates. They'll use like a little harness, and they'll use Hamlow crates, and that's how they do it. They go out the next day. Sometimes like I said, we'll keep them in the storage in the barn or in the cold storage. If we get these rainy days where they have to come for 3 days straight, pick, take it over there, have enough inventory for about 2 weeks, depending on the rain. Yeah, and then until we run out again, and then the weather's a lot nicer, then we come out here and pick again. So yeah, it's pretty. This time of year is pretty mellow, pretty easy going, better to manage. Lemons come in maybe a little later. They're over there on the other side, maybe like a couple weeks later. But lemons actually stay in the tree till like June, July, yeah, because they keep coming, and for whatever reason, that's the only one that'll last a little bit longer. Yeah, late spring, early summer, and then that's it. There's something about lemons that do well on trees. Oranges, March, they start getting beat up. They taste like fermented. They're out of season. The lemons, they could still, it's sour. They could still hold well. It's still good.
By selling most of their crop to farmers markets and local businesses, Hamlow Ranch is engaged in what's called direct marketing. This means that they sell straight to their customers without a middleman. In direct marketing, farmers carefully plan their harvest and storage so that their fruit is fresh for their customers and sell it to customers themselves. However, much of the fruit that most people eat comes from wholesale. Wholesale distribution is when a farmer sells most or all of their crop to a third party, who then sells it to stores or restaurants in very large quantities. Wholesale has its benefits, which include more profit for the farmers by concentrating all of their work in a shorter amount of time. Instead of harvesting an orchard over the course of months, a wholesale farmer might harvest all of their fruit off of their trees in just a few weeks. Farmers who use wholesale distribution don't have to wait for their citrus to ripen on the tree, since they can ripen the fruit in storage rooms by manipulating the temperature and humidity conditions of the storage room. Even though wholesale fruit is cheap and easily available, there are plenty of reasons why customers prefer buying direct from farms like Hamlow. Many customers believe that buying from a farmer means that the fruit is fresher and riper than fruit from the store. Direct marketing also means that a customer can build a relationship with their farmer, which makes for a more friendly and welcoming shopping experience.
Well, the grocery store, they pick them earlier. They pick them when they're real green, and then they put them in these rooms to get the color, and then they get shipped out. So the farmer, it's maybe less stress for a farmer because he already sold his crop and he doesn't have to deal with it. That's what I would say. That's convenient for them, I guess. But that's the difference. This is you're getting it from your backyard basically and eat it. So I would say other farmers or the grocery store, yeah, it's totally different. Maybe they come from other countries. You don't know what the process is. The thing about oranges though, fresh oranges, the best homemade squeezed orange you'll ever get. But you have to drink it within that same day, because the day after it gets kind of acidy, because it doesn't have a preservative, of course. It's not like the grocery store. Orange juice, they put preservatives and stuff like that to last. There's nothing like a homemade squeezed orange juice though. If you have a machine or whatever, go for it. You guys will be amazed. I don't know if you guys ever tasted the homemade, done homemade orange juice, especially this kind. This is real pulpy though. They're not Valencias. Valencias are more juicy. This is more pulpy, real thick.
Did you know the average American consumes 2.7 gallons of orange juice a year, making it the most popular juice? Most of us might think of citrus fruits as a healthy and delicious snack, but there are many other uses that you might not have thought of. Citrus can be candied, made into jams, marmalades, juice, and the zest can be added to dishes to enhance flavor. Although citrus has always been used as a food source, the fruits were also used as a perfume, to repel insects, and even as a beauty product. Citrus is used in many commercial cleaners and can polish metals, be used as a mild bleach, enhance the cleaning power of laundry detergent, get out ink stains from clothes, and get rid of mildew. Lemon juice can be sprayed onto hair and used as a natural lightener, and oranges can be baked to create an inviting scent that fills the whole home. Now, let's get back to Fernando and talk to him about his other citrus.
This one variety of lemon, Lisbon, which is this one. It's about 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. It goes all the way down to down there. Then that's it. And then the next rows over is the tangerines. They're not Myers too, by the way, because a lot of people always look for Myers. It's like a sweet lemon. I just know about Eureka and about these, Lisbon.
Lisbon is one of the most popular varieties of lemon. These lemons pack quite a punch of juicy, tart flavor, unlike the sweeter and more common Meyer lemon. Lisbon lemons have very few seeds, which makes them great for cooking or making lemonade. Even though they are named after the capital of Portugal, this variety of lemon actually originates from Australia. Today, they are one of the most popular varieties of lemon grown in California. Lisbon lemons can grow fruit practically all year round, with their main harvest coming in early spring.
So these are good for your fish, salmon, tacos, anything. For water, yeah. And we sell these almost year round though, but like I said, we have a gap. We have a gap in between, I think, July till November when they start coming in again. November, December.
Did you know that lemons turn from green to yellow based on temperature, not ripeness?
See all this? All this is like a pest. This is what I was talking about in the oranges. Sometimes they get real black. It looks like dust, but it's actually a pest. Like that's a pest right there. It looks like it has a whole bunch of ants, but it's not. Yeah, I got to that lemon right there.
A Lisbon lemon tree has more thorns than other varieties, which means that farmers like Fernando need to take extra time throughout the year to prune the thorns so that they don't get in the way when it's time to harvest.
Lemons are real hard to pick though. Lemons have a lot of thorns, see that? You have to wear leather thick gloves. Yeah, we do a little bit of pruning around the tree, not very much, and then just pick and water. We rely on Mother Nature. Hopefully it'll rain soon so we don't have to water. In the summer, it's a schedule. It's, every other day. Every other day. You can't have a week without water in summer. No, that's bad. Because the ground just dries up fast. You want to make lemonade? Right here. Good lemonade. Put some orange peels. Make a big old jug, whatever. Add some sugar, of course. Taste it to your benefit. Water, squeeze a whole bunch of lemon, and then I cut rinds of lemon and I cut rinds of oranges of the navel. I put them there just for looks, or maybe it gets a little bit of the flavor of the orange. And homemade lemonade.
Pomelos are the largest of all citrus fruits. A single pomelo can weigh up to 4.5 pounds. Hamlow Ranch grows Chandler pomelos, which are the most common variety of pomelo grown commercially in California. They are sweet, with yellow skin and pink flesh. Pomelos have a somewhat grainy texture, but Chandler pomelos are typically juicier than other varieties. Pomelos originate in Southeast Asia and can even be found growing wild on some Pacific islands. Although they aren't very popular in the US, pomelos are very common in Southeast Asian cuisine, where they are typically eaten raw in salads and desserts. Just like other citrus, pomelo requires heat in the off-season and typically produce fruit beginning in early fall through spring.
But pomelos, they last a long time. You could take one home in a month, they'll still look good in your counter. You don't have to refrigerate it. It might get a little hard, the skin, but I mean the inside still stays fresh, nice and sweet and juicy. So, yeah. Sometimes we produce a lot, sometimes we don't. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's we need to use some kind of material or we're doing something different, or there's years where we have a ton of these and there's other years it's just, I don't know what it is. We watered it this year a lot, and this year our crop was real low, just enough to keep maintaining, but hopefully we could try something different this year and we could have more crop for next season. Well, we have two lands of pomelos. We have this and we have the other one down there. Oh, it's about 4 acres. We don't have to do with thorns. Every now and then, we'll prune the tree. When we're done with harvesting, we'll take time and we'll prune the dead limbs. They hold pretty well when you get a tree with a lot. You would think like pomelo weighs a lot or whatever. You would think, oh man, how does a tree look like? But it looks like a regular citrus tree. Yeah, we just pick them by hand. Sometimes we'll use a long stick with a knife or something. Pull the ones on top. And we put them in a big old bin and we just store it out in the barn. They last a long time, like I said. You could get one now and take it home over a month maybe in the counter. You don't even have to put it in the fridge, or you can put it in the fridge if you want, room temperature. And the rind might get hard, the outside, real rock hard, but the inside it'll still nice and juicy and bright. Yep. Supposedly pomelos is the godfather of the citrus. A lot of people think it's a hybrid of a grapefruit or something else, but no, actually the grapefruit is a hybrid. The grapefruit is a hybrid of a pomelo / sweet navel orange. That's what made a grapefruit. So this is its own fruit. This is unique. It's not a hybrid. This you could even eat the white on the inside of the rind. You could eat it. I eat the rind. This has a lot of health benefits. This is good for you. Make you live longer, make you live healthier, keep away from the flus or getting sick. You eat a lot of citrus. Citrus is real good for you. There's something about fruit, you don't get tired. You're always eating it. You know, oranges. Like I said, even in the markets, I always buy from over there. Or I'll try to get some other stuff from over there. You get used to it. You know, you're supporting small businesses that are surviving. So that's very important, you know? Yeah.
Well, that just about sums up our citrus adventures here at Hamlow Ranches. We hope you can join us next time when we visit mushroom adventures in Marysville, California. Have a great rest of your week.